Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch to Good. And yes, now that Lightspeed bundles are permanent in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, we already covered the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren bundles in the game. Now we're going to cover the Galactic Legendary Rey bundles in the game, but this is a little bit more complex. There are more ins and outs. There's actually a secondary team that's highly useful in the game, whereas the First Order had kind of a maybe useful in Territory Wars secondary team at the moment. So we got two big useful teams here. We got a lot of other characters that come in and play with Rey in the game that aren't Resistance. We've got some extra availability of characters. We have a lot of stuff to cover here. So let's jump in. Let's talk about all the characters you need to get Rey unlocked, what you'll need in addition to the Lightspeed bundles. Then we'll jump into mods and teams and abilities and Zetas and all that good stuff. So let's jump right into this with one admission, and I'll get to that when when I get to my main account here in a minute, where we take a look at all the abilities. I'm going to tell you, I have not heavily invested in the secondary Resistance team, and you'll see that here momentarily. So there we go. The two Rey bundles are available: the Resistance Lightspeed bundle and the Raddus Lightspeed bundle. Resistance gives you all these characters, from the Resistance Trooper to the pilot to OG Poe to Resistance Hero Poe and Finn, Rose Tico, and Amilyn Holdo, kind of your I guess your last Jedi slash I don't know, whatever. And then the Raddus bundle gives you other characters you need, which is Scavenger Rey, Original Finn, OG Poe, and Resistance Pilot. And these are primarily, now I gotta say this, these are primarily the characters you need to unlock Galactic Legend Rey in the game, with a couple of exceptions, and those exceptions are going to be, you are missing in those bundles. We look over here at the entirety of it. Veteran, whatever, I don't have it on this. Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca and Veteran Smuggler Han Solo are not in those two bundles. I'll show you where to get them in a minute. You also got to go get the Raddus. There is a journey involved for this, which is BB-8. There are two journeys, BB-8 and Jedi Training Rey. Now, to do the Jedi Training Rey journey, let's back out a little bit. We'll look at Jedi Training Rey and BB-8 here. To do that Jedi Training Rey journey, you need to have Veteran Smuggler Han and Chewie. You've got to have BB-8 on the roster. So you need those characters on the roster. And what did we just say a minute ago? You did not get those characters in those bundles. But don't be worried about it. There is another bundle that's out there in the game, kind of hiding in the background. Let's open up our Resistance, and let's do it this way. Open up our Resistance. Let's go. Let's see if it gives us to us with Jedi Training Rey. Let's go to unlock her. Enter the journey guide for Jedi Training Rey. Oh, I was just here. I told you it says a lot more ins and outs. I'm going to give you. There it is. The Rey Jedi Training Rey Lightspeed bundle. And if we open that up, that's got Veteran Smuggler Han and Chewie. So it's an extra $10 in there. A little bit more expensive than the Kylo bundles if you're going to get the whole thing done. So that's what you need to get Jedi Training Rey. You'll need her at Relic 7. These characters are included in that. But what about the BB-8 journey? What do you need for BB-8? Well, there's a tricky little journey for you, boys and girls, because what you need to get BB-8 is... Seriously? I'm at my refresh time right when I record this. I guess I got to start. Okay, what? I'm not starting the video over. I'm starting this. What you need to get BB-8, what I was trying to say a moment ago, is 5 First Order characters at 7 stars. Now, that may get you to thinking you need to go buy the First Order bundle to get this done. I'm going to tell, or the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren bundle. It's only $10 only. You know, I know that's a different dollar figure for everybody. And you can get it, but you don't need these. I'll just tell you, you don't need these characters at like relic levels to get BB-8 unlocked. You can do it at probably Relic 7. I think I've done it with Relic 7. And probably almost any 5 First Order characters will get BB-8 unlocked. But if you want to go get the Supreme Leader Kylo bundle along with this, that's how you'll get BB-8 unlocked in the game. You'll need Jedi Training Rey and BB-8 at Relic 7 to unlock Galactic Legend Rey. I think those are only Relic 7s. Oh, yeah, BB-8, Scavenger Rey has to be at Relic 7 also, and Jedi Training Rey. The rest are all Relic 5s and Relic 3s. So that's all the characters you need, and all kind of the little side trips and side journeys that you've got to take to get all that done, along with, you know, these bundles in the game. And we'll talk about, and you need to get the Raddus, of course. We talked about this with the finalizer. For Raddus, it's a permanently available ship now. Here we go to our events, and there's the Raddus Admiral's Maneuver, earn Radis blueprints. So you get this, you go buy the bundle, you're ready for Radis there on day 1. You unlock it at 4 stars. You get to play it again, I think. I can't remember. Take about a week, get it to 5 stars. You're good to go. Now, the Radis is a more effective ship in the game right now than the Finalizer. It ends up being put on defense a lot, even at the highest levels of Grand Arena. That's not saying it's a super duper, great performer in Grand Arena, but it's good enough to put on defense. But only really if you've got the comeuppance on your roster. The comeuppance comes off the bench, and when it comes off the bench, it does all sorts of great stuff. Remove dramatic entrance from all allies and all resistance allies. Gain dramatic entrance for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled. All enemies are exposed, just can't be evaded or resisted. Reduce the cooldowns of resistance allies with deflector shield. Dramatic entrance is plus 25% offense. Deal bonus true damage equal to 10% of the target's max health, which can't be evaded. Gain 20% turn meter and dramatic entrance for 2 turns if the ship defeats an enemy. This really, and all the other abilities really make that resistance fleet go. It's not like gonna bring the absolute noise, there in your fleets, but it can make a difference in the right situation. And if people don't have the right fleet to face it, the Radis can come out on top in certain situations. So that's everything that goes along with the bundles right there. Let's jump over to our main account and let's talk about the 2 teams that come off of this, the extra characters that go with Rey, and we'll look at a bunch of Zetas and abilities and everything else that goes along with when you farm Galactic Legend Rey, and mods, by the way. Galactic Legend Rey. And I don't know why I said Galactic Legend Rey a second time, but I did. And here we are with the resistance characters. We're going to exclude R2-D2 and C3PO from this. I will tell you that C3PO can be a big difference maker on the first tier of the Journey event for Jedi Training Rey. Zori Bliss would be a bigger difference maker on that tier as well. So if you don't have C3PO and you don't have Zori Bliss, I've done it on my channel. It's a little bit tricky to get through that first tier. Look around, you'll find ways to get through it without C3PO and Zori Bliss on there. But if you can get Zori Bliss, she is a big add, and Zori Bliss is actually what makes that second team here we're going to discuss really go. But let's get into Galactic Legend Rey, and once you get her farmed, what are you looking at for mods and abilities and Zetas and everything with Galactic Legend Rey? Well, you're going to start off with offense and health and offense. If you look at all my mods here, health with 22 speed, health with 23 speed, offense, health, and an offense set. This is what you want on Rey, because Rey is giving out a lot of lifeblood where she loses health. So she's going to automatically lose health, and the target light side ally gains protection equal to the amount lost. So the more health she has, the more health she takes off at 25% and gives more protection to the people on her team. She also, let's see, they all gain critical hit immunity for 2 turns. Target other ally gains lifeblood, which means damage received is decreased by 30% and damage dealt is increased by 30%. So health and offense are what you want for Galactic Legend Rey. The other thing is her ult does true damage. You'll see here, upon acting this ability, she does true damage. That's why you want offense and not critical damage, because that's what her ult is doing on Rey. So you want to mod her out as fast as you can. Health and offense and health. That's where we're looking with Galactic Legend Rey. As far as her Zetas, really, honestly, all these Zetas are going to be really important. This one's Sudden Whirlwind, do 2 times massive damage, 7% more damage with massive damage per relic. I mean, this is the actual killer. Her ult is nice. If you really want to take, you want to one-shot almost anybody on the field, Sudden Whirlwind will take care of almost anybody that's out there. You only get to use it, though, when somebody on the team goes below 50% health, but, you're going to like that for sure. Her leader ability, you're going to need that Zeta. Manifest Inspiration, you're going to want to have this light side allies with inspired or damage immunity can't have their turn meter reduced. It's going to prevent your team from losing any turn meter during the battle, because they're always going to be damage immune or inspired. And then Galactic Legend, of course. The one optional Zeta would be this basic. If it's Rey's turn, deal damage a second time. This basic is not really relied on to do a lot for Rey. It's just there when that's all she's got, you use it. And then if she assists, she uses her basic. It's just not really a big ability for her, but that would be the one. If you're gonna skip one, that'd be the one to skip for Galactic Legend Rey. Now, what does her team look like? And this is where it gets a little bit wonky, a little bit tricky, a little bit interesting. So when you first unlock Galactic Legend Rey, you might be looking at just having resistance allies to put on our team, and that's okay to start with. Eventually, you're going to want to branch out. We'll talk about those characters that go on that team down the road. But initially, if you got Zori Bliss out there, I'll tell you right off the bat, Zori Bliss's team is generally going to be Finn, that's just regular Finn, Resistance Hero Poe, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe. Where is he? He's somewhere. There he is. And Zori Bliss. So that's usually going to be the team that goes with Zori Bliss. Although you can sub in Rose Tico for Resistance Hero Poe, kind of in and out. Resistance Hero Poe has some advantages because he gives. That's not resistance. I meant OG Poe. OG Poe. Can't find these guys. Has some advantages because with this, he lands exposes on all the enemy, which, by the way, this original team, when it first came out, ran on exposes to the enemy team. That's no longer true, but there are still a lot of exposes. With OG Poe here has that AoE expose. Finn has an expose with his takedown. Zori is getting exposes in multiple places, and then she gives a bunch of benefits to the team every time there's an expose landed. Is it here? Stealth, no, it's gonna be down here. Spice Runner skills. Whenever an ally triggers an expose, all allies recover 5% protection. And so there's gonna be and she lands exposes on several of her abilities. I'm gonna say this right now. I told you guys already. I have not heavily invested in this Finn Zori Bliss team. The primary reason for me being it's all Zetas. It's all Zetas and Omicrons. That's it. That's it. I have one Zeta on Zori Bliss. I don't have Finn Zeta, and Finn Zeta is nice. We'll get to that. We'll get to that secondary team in a second. So what if you use all those guys on that secondary team for Finn? Who are you going to use with Rey? And by the way, if you don't have the secondary team, you can start off using Resistance Hero Poe and Resistance Hero Finn on Rey's team. A really great fit on Rey's team is Jedi Training Rey. All this stuff aside. And by the way, don't apply Jedi Training Rey's leader Zeta. You're not going to need that. Insight is a great one. At the end of her turn, if she already had critical damage up, she gains offense up until she's damaged. At the start of each encounter, she gains foresight until she evades. When she evades, she recovers 5% health and protection. And then Virtuous Protector, when Rey suffers a debuff, she has a 40% chance to dispel all debuffs on herself. If she's the target of a bunch of damage, she's going to keep dispelling all the debuffs. It's just going to keep happening. The leader you're not going to need to have on her. The thing about Jedi Training Rey that's really becomes kind of challenging over time, and it's become less challenging as the game has moved on, but her masteries, evasion is in here in her masteries. A deflection chance. There you go. Deflection chance. That's evasion. The higher her mastery gets, the more deflection she gets, and she's stacking mastery with Rey's ult or her unique. I'm trying to remember now. Hang on a second. Where do they stack masteries? I think it's in the leader ability. Well, they start off with an extra 40% mastery, so they're already getting mastery. Yeah. Whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, inspired light side allies gain 5% mastery stacking until the end of the encounter. So if you're going against this team with the team that gains a lot of turn meter, Jedi Training Rey is going to become maybe unhittable until the end of the battle. So you can go in initially with Rey, Jedi Training Rey, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe, and you can bring in Holdo in there. If you're using Resistance Hero Finn and Poe on your Finn team, get you in a second again, you can go with Rey, Jedi Training Rey, Holdo, and then you might put BB-8 in there. I wouldn't put Scavenger in there. There's a nice data crop for Scavenger right now, but that's not going to last forever. Veteran Smuggler Han and Chewie don't really go anywhere in the game right now. Resistance Pilot and Resistance Trooper don't really go anywhere in the game right now, except for flying a couple ships, obviously. These two were big on the exposes early on. Like, they've got abilities that really land a lot of expose. Like Resistance Trooper's basic. If he lands expose. Where is it? Yeah, gains 55% turn meter when an enemy who's not exposed becomes exposed. So uses his basic to gain exposed, gains a bunch of turn meter, boom. Resistance Trooper keeps taking turns and turns and turns. That's what Resistance Trooper can do for your roster. But these guys don't really fit in. So let's talk about some of the alternative characters that really do fit on to a Rey team to go with her, Jedi Training Rey, and Holdo if you're using other guys somewhere else. Some of those characters would include Ben Solo. Now, Ben Solo here and Ezra Bridger, guys, if you put... I forgot one. There's one that I really like in here. Commander Ahsoka. These three are Conquest / Proving Grounds characters. So you may be a ways away from these guys unless when the lights, Commander Ahsoka has a Lightspeed bundle. Ben Solo has a Lightspeed bundle. Ezra Bridger's too new to have a Lightspeed bundle right now. Maybe by the time you watch this, he might. But maybe you buy a Lightspeed bundle for one of these guys. Commander Ahsoka, before you get Jedi Master Kenobi, this is where she belongs. Put her on your Rey team. Her unique is going to feed this. Ahsoka has 50% offense critical damage. If another light side unaligned force user, Galactic Legend Rey, Galactic Republic, or Scoundrels present, she also has 50% health and defense and shares all these bonuses with her light side allies. If there are currently fewer allies and enemies, the bonuses to offense, critical damage, health, and defense are increased by 10% for each Galactic Republic or Scoundrel ally. That wouldn't be as good on there, but they're all going to get 50% offense, critical damage, health, and defense across the team. She's a great lifter for Rey before you have Jedi Master Kenobi. Ben Solo was built to work with Rey. He does a lot of things in your mainly force dyad that if there is a Rey alive in the leader slot, he can't be defeated. So you got to get Ben Solo out. And then in Grand Arena, he revives. He keeps reviving. It's pretty obnoxious. So Ben Solo's a good lifter for her. Cal Kestis is a great lifter in her, specifically with, at the start of the battle, all unaligned force user allies gain 30% max health and 30% tenacity. Whenever an ally is critically hit, they and Cal recover 5% health and protection. If the ally is a light side or dark side unaligned force user, they and Cal gain protection up for 2 turns. I mean, there's a lot of unaligned force user synergy here with Cal, and that would go with Ben Solo, Commander Ahsoka, Galactic Legend Rey, Jedi Training Rey. They're all online force user allies. So you can see where these guys would work well together if you don't have the other parts of their team put together already. And then Ezra Bridger is just kind of a crazy lifter. I mean, he just does. It's even tough to go over the kit. There's Whales, there's Protection Up, there's Exile, there's Resilient Defense, there's Crazy. They're just, he also has in his mastery Deflection Chance. So you end up not being able to hit him. He's a crazy lifter for Rey, also a crazy lifter for Ahsoka, Galactic Legend Ahsoka, also a crazy lifter for Jedi Master Kenobi. He is like the lifter extraordinaire in the game at the moment. Somebody that you might be more likely to have on your roster, and in fact, if you buy the bundles, you will have L3 on your roster. L3 starts off the battle tanking. Where is it here? At the start of each encounter, L337 becomes prepared, and when she's prepared, she gains taunt for 1 turn. So L3 can come in as an initial taunt and an auto taunt, so she would be taunting at the beginning, taking up the damage, and then with Galactic Legend Rey, the first time your characters go under 50%, light side I should say, I think it's just light side, yeah, light side. First time light side characters go under 50% health, they gain damage immunity for 1 turn, so and then you protect them also. Rey's ultimate comes down and gives everybody like automatic, they can't take, or they take 1 damage I think every time. So L3 can come out and be an auto tank for you in that team if you're missing some of these other characters we talked about, or if you want to go with Galactic Legend Rey, Jedi Training Rey, Holdo, and L3, and maybe BB-8 or something like that. So that's the character you're going to use with Galactic Legend Rey on her team. Let's talk a little bit about this second. Oh, and by the way, mods. We talked about Rey's mods. Jedi Training Rey, I got her modded wrong. This is like a classic mod set for offense, crit damage and stuff. You want to mod her for as much health as possible. Just keep her alive. She's just sitting over there. She's just a meat shield or more meat to kill on that team. Amelin Holdo's a tank. Get a bunch of health and protection on her. Defense, protection mainly. Also some health to go along with that. L3, same thing, tank. Defense, protection, and health as a secondary there. And then your other guys, Ben Solo is going to be an offense set, and again, more health. Let's see, Cal Kestis, Junior Cal Kestis, baby Cal Kestis is going to be like protection and health, and also I think it may be actually health because he gets all the protection up. And then Commander Ahsoka is going to be speed, and I don't know with Ezra, just make him really fast and just put him out there and watch, just cause problems for your opponent. Okay, let's talk about this secondary team here, which I again have not invested in. So you're looking at Poe. Let's go ahead and build this squad here so I can talk about it a little bit easier. Create a new squad. Let's go to our resistance, and we'll go with Poe. Resistance Hero Poe, Resistance Hero Finn, Zori Bliss, and I'm going to put Rose Tico in there. You can also put, like I mentioned, OG Poe in there as well. Now, here is the team. Let's confirm that squad so we can keep it around. Thanks. Okay, this is that secondary team I was talking about that you can build that can be a very, very good team if you invest in it. I have not invested the Zetas that I would need to make this a very, very good team. It can still be a pesky team in the right situation, but my Zetas aren't great. My mods aren't great. So I'm getting very little use out of this team. You might get a lot of use out of it. Let's talk about Finn as the leader, then we'll look at Zori Bliss. So Finn as the leader is going to give all resistance allies 60% defense, offense, and potency. Other allies have half, but it's going to be all resistance. If an enemy is damaged by resistance, for each exposed, they lose 5% turn meter for each resistance. I mean, if they have one exposed, they could be losing 25% turn meter, and all allies gain 3% turn meter for each resistance ally. So crazy, just crazy turn meter gains and loss. That's a turn meter train for you, boys and girls, that you got with OG Finn on the roster. His takedown could deal physical damage and stun. Hold the line recovers health and protection for the team. Finn gains advantage, defense up, taunt, and determination. And so that's what Finn is doing. I don't want to get him modded up for just tanky health, protection, defense, etc. Zori Bliss. Now, Zori Bliss is what really makes his team go. Similarly to Captain Rex on the Phoenix squad, this team is really nothing without Zori Bliss in place. So let's talk about what she does. We'll look at her Spice Runner skill. There's a lot of words here. We always know that, generally speaking, if there's a lot of words, a lot of good things are going to happen for the team. Zori gains stealth. Smuggler allies have 35% accuracy and health steal. I think OG Poe might be a smuggler, and I think Resistance Hero Poe might be a smuggler. I'm not sure. Whenever an ally triggers an expose, all allies recover protection. The first time they fall below 100% health, they gain 100% turn meter. If they were a non-tank, they gain protection up and stealth for 2 turns. If they were a tank, they gain damage immunity and taunt for 1 turn. If the damage immunity or stealth is dispelled, they recover 100% protection. So she's keeping the team alive, you know, giving them an extra round, an extra time through to do a bunch of work, and they also get buffs based on their roles as well. There's more of us here. If the ally in the leader slot is non-unaligned force user resistance, that means Finn. It means Finn. Maybe down the road it'll be more. It means Finn, okay? It could mean OG Poe. It means Finn, trust me. Okay. Resistance allies have even more potency than what Finn gave them, while they have more allies and enemies and have plus 35 speed, while they have equal or fewer allies and enemies. All these qualifiers, man. Whenever Zori uses an ability while stealth, the ally in the leader slot and Poe Dameron gain retribution. If Poe is taunting, he also... So that's where your Poe Dameron, OG Poe, can fit well in this team too. Whenever resistance ally is less than 100% turn. Look, I mean, she's just doing a lot of stuff for this team. Zori is lifting this team up, and there's a lot of exposes landed in here, dealing more damage for each exposed triggered up to 300%. Zori could be real strong in here. Speed, offense, that's what you want to have on Zori. She's going to be stealth most of the battle anyway. Resistance hero Finn is going to be out there providing buffs to the team and spreading around inspiration on the team. You're going to use this second ability to inspire somebody else. So what you do initially is you make it so he is the fastest, so he's a speed set with offense and crit damage. He goes first. You use this ability, you pass it over to Resistance Hero Poe Dameron. Resistance Hero Poe, and he takes a turn. He shoots when he does this, right? It attacks, has defense penetration, so he fires, passes his turn meter. Poe Dameron takes Poe Dameron's turn meter back from him. They swap it. Poe Dameron takes a turn, and he passes around some more inspiration to the team. Whoever doesn't have it, he gives it to them. Then Finn, Resistance Hero Finn goes again, and meanwhile they're gaining all this turn meter, and the opponents are losing all the turn meter based on what we saw with Finn. So a lot of that going on in the team. Resistance Hero Poe is just passing inspiration around. Rose Tico really only fits if you've got her Grand Arena Omicron in here. All other resistance allies gain 10% offense for each exposed enemy, and they gain 5% turn meter whenever resistance ally scores a critical hit. So more turn meter train and offense stacking up on the team. She's also going to add, when she does her basic, right? Yeah, when she does her basic, which is anytime she assists will be her basic, she grants tenacity up for 2 turns to a random resistance ally. And Zori has something in here. When somebody gets resistance up, they all get resistance up. I read this a minute ago, and now I've forgotten where it goes. Hold on. See, there's so much in these kits, man. There's so much in here. Nope. Okay, whenever a resistance ally without tenacity up gains tenacity up, all other resistance allies without tenacity up gain tenacity up for 1 turn. That tenacity up is going to help you, obviously, to not get debuffs on the team and really move you forward. So I think that's going to cover it for our teams here. There is a lot more in and out, and as you can see, there are a lot more extra, extra resistance characters that can go on this team instead. In fact, if you've got R2 Relic on your roster and you don't have Leo Organa yet, he might be an okay fit on this team, temporarily until you get Leo Organa activated and he drops onto that team as well. So there you go, folks. So let's take one more look here at this Rey Galactic Legend bundles. Again, guys, if you keep it in mind, I'm on the wrong account now. Let's go back to the other account. And now that I'm back on the other account, I realize I didn't cover the Zetas on the team. Finn's Zeta is in his leader ability. And if an enemy is targeted by a resistance ally for each exposed, and that's the turn meter, so you do need that. You need that Zeta on Finn to make the team really, excuse me, really work for you. I took a drink and went down the wrong pipe in between. I don't think Holdo has this. This might be a Zeta. I don't know. When another key resistance zero loses foresight, I mean, I don't know. I've never had the Zeta on her, and she's doing okay for me. Resistance hero Poe, his Zeta is going to be down here. If an enemy critically hits an inspired ally, all buffs are dispelled from the enemy at the end of the turn. That's all right. I mean, it's very specific. And then resistance hero Finn, again, I don't really think these Zetas are super necessary. Well, while Resistance Hero Finn is inspired when an ally is prevented from using an ability, when they're prevented from using an ability when their ability blocked, they recover 40% health protection and gain 40% turn meter. Maybe there's a situational thing for this that I'm not aware of where this becomes awesome. I kind of look at it as a little bit optional. You want to have both of Zori's Zetas on her and her Omicron. If you want to use Rose Tico, you want her Zeta and Omicron on her as well. Skip Ray Scavenger's Zeta, and really you don't use her very much except maybe in a Star Killer team if you get that down the road. And that kind of covers the Zetas. We talked about Jedi Training Rey. BB-8, unfortunately, don't get to use BB-8 that much in the game anymore, and it is sad. I really wish we could find, I know he goes on, if you build an L3 droid team out there, you can go on that team. Still not doing all that exciting stuff, but his roll with the punches is actually his best one. When BB-8 attacks on a turn, he calls a random resistance ally to assist. That's pretty nice on a resistance team, but if he's on a droid team, it doesn't matter. And then on a droid team, whenever BB-8 evades, droid allies recover 8% health and 8% protection. When Jedi Training Rey first came out, you would put Jedi Training Rey out there with R2 and BB-8, and that was kind of your teams. There's a lot of droid synergy and resistance synergy. Unfortunately, it doesn't really exist anymore on the team. So there's your coverage. Just remember, guys, that 2 of the bundles are available just by going here and shopping for requirements. That's the Resistance Bundle and the Radis bundle, and that's like I said, there's L3 right there. Unfortunately, and that's not Commander Ahsoka, that's Baby Ahsoka. Unfortunately, you don't get Smuggler Han and Smuggler Chewie out of that. The fastest way to get access to that would be to go to the Jedi Training Rey journey. Click on that, click on Shop for Requirements, and there's the Jedi Training Rey bundle that'll give you that, an extra $10. So $40, I think. Let me go back. I should have looked at that. Down here. Shop for requirements. Yeah, 20, 30, $40. 20, 30, $40 for Jedi Training Rey to really get her active and get everything necessary. Unless you're going to go also get your first order, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren bundle to unlock BB-8, which you don't need them at relic levels, but that's an easy way to get them. If you got $10 burning a hole in your pocket, that would push it to $50 to get to get Galactic Legend Rey on your roster. I think you can also access these bundles now that they've been out for a couple of days, just by going to the characters. Let's look at this here. So if I want BB-8, does it show me? That takes me to the journey guide where I can. Actually, in the journey guide, I'll bet if I do this, shop for requirements, they don't have it here. That's interesting. So shop for requirements for BB-8 does not bring up the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren pack. Little note for you guys, if you were here around when Lightspeed bundles first came out, the original Supreme Leader Kylo Ren bundle was missing Smuggler Han, and it was called the BB-8 bundle at the time. Then they added Smuggler Han the next month and called it the Supreme Leader Kylo bundle. Just a little trivia for you guys. It's not there, but if you look at other Resistance characters, so let's click on Finn. Let's click on Finn. Let's click on Venture Smuggler Chewie, whatever. Any of them. The bundle will pop up under those characters, and don't ever buy this crap. Buy this crap. Oh my gosh. Are we still gonna leave this sitting here and some sucker buys? Oh my goodness. Don't do this stuff. Only do this stuff. Everybody, that's your complete guide to the Galactic Legend Rey Lightspeed bundles in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Hopefully it helps you out. I know it's a lot of information. This is kind of a topsy-turvy one, a little more depth and roundabout stuff going on here than there is. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is pretty straightforward. This one's got a little more going on with it. So everybody, have a great day. I will definitely talk to you very soon. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good.